Today it is November 10th, 2016, and in the aftermath of the United States election process, I know that there are a lot of Jews in Israel who are concerned about the United States being there to help and support Israel when their time of need comes. And of course, I have proven in Isaiah 60 that the United States will be there to help Israel when their time of need comes. But people are concerned about the election of Donald Trump now. Many wonder where I stand on this. He used to be a friend of the Clintons. He said so. He even promoted or talked wonderfully about Barack Obama. I don't trust him, not a whole lot more than I would trust the Clintons. However, this election was not about Donald Trump. It was about the American people saying they have had enough of political correctness. They have had enough of bringing terrorists into the country. They've had enough of coddling Iran, who is Israel's enemy, arch enemy. And just in case that the Jews in Israel wonder, is America going to go off the way of Europe and be the persecutor of Israel? Now, first of all, before I go into this, let me explain something here. As someone who recently learned of my Jewish heritage, and one of the young ladies that told me about this was a long time ago when I was in my 20s, and I ignored her. I ignored rumblings coming out of some of the Amish about this. And her name was Heather. I won't give you her last name. Honestly, I don't know her last name anymore because she since got married. And I haven't seen her since. She's up in Canada somewhere. And then, of course, recently another young lady by the name of Hannah, an Israeli citizen, also informed me, and she laughed at me and laughed at the Amish folks for not believing that they're Jewish. I won't go into all of that because I went into it on my videos about the Amish-Jewish connection, which everyone who are interested in that should go and look at those videos. There's 3 of them. But today I'm going to talk as an American, as someone whose ancestors came from Europe. The Americans whose ancestors came from Europe are unique in all the world. And in some ways, even the Australians share this, a little bit of uniqueness. What uniqueness am I talking about? This uniqueness is only shared with the Jewish people who were persecuted in Europe. What it is, the Americans who came from Europe escaped Europe to escape the persecution, religious persecution, ethnic persecution of Europe, which existed for decade after decade after decade. And William Penn, you can read his writings. You know, Pennsylvania was initially for the English who were persecuted by the crown, But William Penn extended out his hand of friendship to the Amish, who also suffered persecution in mainland Europe. And this led to a heavy, steady stream of people from the United Kingdom and from Europe to escape the kings of Europe. So Israel today is mainly made up of Jews who escaped the same people, but they went back to the Holy Land to set up, to reestablish Israel and to reestablish Jerusalem, so that the scripture in Joel 3 and verse 1 might be fulfilled. But the others had to go to the ends of the earth and wait. You see, you people, you Jews in Israel, you need to understand that the families who escaped Europe, who came to the United States to escape Europe, every family has their story to tell. Every family has their martyrs. Every family has their horror stories of what happened to their people in Europe. Every one of them. There is not a family, except for maybe the elites like the Bush family, who are tied in with the kings of Europe. But nearly every family that came from Europe to the United States have their story to tell. So, when Israel was reestablished, these people were happy. They were like, great going, Israel. That's how you do it. And every time Israel defeated their enemies, the people who tried to extinguish them, the attaboys coming from the United States grew louder. That's how you do it. That's how you deal with them. And the more Israel defeats their enemies, the louder the voices that stand with Israel are going to be here in the United States. There is no politician that can stop this. It is because these families who had their history with the European elites will never forget the persecution that they faced, that their families faced, and they view your persecution and their persecution as one and the same. And of course there's a reason for that. Because you see, there are higher powers involved here. Higher powers of hatred against Israel versus the highest power, Jehovah, the Elohim of Israel. Hatred of Israel still remains in Europe. It will never change until they are completely vanquished, as it is written in Daniel 27. The lands of Europe will become desolate, as it is written in Daniel 27. Yes, the desolation of the desolator shall happen. It cannot be stopped. So, Israel, have no fear. Do not fear Russia. Do not fear Iran. Do not fear the enemies in Europe. Jehovah, your Elohim, is with you. The time of reconciliation must begin. And when Jehovah roars out of Jerusalem, your kin, the tempest-tossed, the exiles, the persecuted ones, the ones who were persecuted by those who persecuted you, will come home from the west, as it is written in Isaiah 11. And Ephraim, one stick, and Judah, one stick, are two sticks, and they will become one stick in the hand of Jehovah, and he's going to hand that stick, that club, to Messiah ben David, Messiah son of David, and with that club he is going to beat the nations into submission. Rest assured, the words of the prophets shall stand. So again, to those Jews in Israel, fear not, fear not, fear not. Good things and nothing but good things are about to happen to you.